Tucker Carlson, Andrew Schulz, Tim Scott, and the black men and women I have met in person who are still defending Donald Trump. Episode 1, we talked about Rogan, Candace, MTG, and Aiden Ross. Today we go deeper because this one right here, this one is personal. I'm just here to make sure we don't forget everybody get some smoke. Um, so what it do, twin? It's your aunt from the A, and welcome back to Smoke. If you missed episode 1, links in the screen right now. Go check it out after this. Today, we go deeper. And this one gets personal because one of the groups I'm talking about today, I've met face to face, looked in the eye, had actual conversations with right here in Georgia. So let's get to it. Tucker Carlson first. Let's start here because this one has receipts that people have already started forgetting about. And I'm just here to make sure we don't forget. For years, Tucker Carlson was the highest rated host on Fox News, millions of viewers every single night, using that platform to push fear, division, and Trump loyalty harder than almost anybody in mainstream media, night after night. Calm voice, good lighting, defending Trump to millions of people who trusted him. But here's what came out during the Dominion voting systems lawsuit against Fox News. Internal text messages, Tucker's own private texts to his colleagues. Check this out.
Tucker Carlson seethes with hatred. He exhibits it every night. Hatred for masses of people, hatred for individuals. Tucker Carlson hates passionately. And I know that because he has told us in writing, as Dominion revealed tonight. On January 4th, 2 days before, Tucker Carlson was absolutely certain that Congress would smoothly certify Joe Biden's election on January 6th. Although Tucker Carlson was afraid to tell his audience that, Tucker Carlson texts, "We are very, very close to being able to avoid Trump most nights. I hate him passionately."
Wow. He called Trump demonic, said he hated him passionately. He even said he had come to believe Trump was a destroyer. Those are his private words, twin. While he was defending Trump publicly every single night to millions of viewers, that is not hypocrisy. Everybody's a hypocrite sometimes. That is deliberate fraud against the people who trusted him with their political worldview. And then Fox fired him. And what did Tucker do? Check this out.
Craziness surrounding the Tucker Putin interview has intensified. Now the European Union is threatening sanctions against Tucker, including a travel ban, claiming that he is a war criminal for this interview. If this happens, that means that Tucker would no longer be able to travel to any of these countries, which seems pretty insane. Because let's not forget that many people have interviewed Putin over the years. And in the past, Barbara Walters interviewed Fidel Castro during her Cold War, and that's what journalists do. I think a lot of people feel the same way that Candace Owens does, that the fact that the EU is considering sanctions against Tucker Carlson for interviewing Putin, that it's more than an admission that they have been lying about everything regarding Ukraine, that the narrative is about to fully collapse and that they are terrified. Now, whether...
So that's what he did. He went to Twitter, got more extreme, flew to Moscow and interviewed Vladimir Putin like he was doing America a favor. And the people who rearranged their entire political lives based on what Tucker told them every night, they didn't get a text. They just got the consequences. And I'm just here to make sure we don't forget. Also, Andrew Schulz. This one stings differently because Schulz built his whole brand on being the guy who tells the truth nobody else will say. The unfiltered comedian, the man who doesn't care what people think. And he used that credibility to normalize Trump to a comedy and pop culture audience that might not have been reachable any other way. Had Trump adjacent guests on his podcast made jokes that softened the edges of what this administration actually represents. Framed it all as just keeping it real. But here's the thing about using comedy as cover for political normalization, twin. It works because the moment somebody criticizes it, you say, relax, it's just a joke, or you're being too sensitive. Y'all heard that before. But, the audience doesn't hear it as a joke. The audience hears it as their favorite comedian telling them that this is all fine. This is normal. Stop being dramatic. Well, it's not fine. It's not normal. Andrew Schulz is genuinely talented, genuinely funny. I'll give him that. And he used that talent to help make something dangerous feel palatable to people who trusted his judgment. Talent without integrity is just a more effective tool for doing damage. That's all it is. Let's get to my favorite because I'm going to talk about him for a couple times. Tim Scott, the senator from South Carolina. And this one, twin, this the one I need you to really follow. Because first, how he even got there, Tim Scott never actually won a Senate race on his own initially. Governor Nikki Haley appointed him in 2013. She handed him the seat. And then $44 million in campaign fundraiser kept him there. And he said on record that 2022 will be his last term. He's running again in 2028. Add that to the list, twin. Can't keep his word to his own constituents. And now he spent years as Trump's most enthusiastic black defender. Stood on stages vouching for him to black voters specifically. Used his own face and story as a black man to tell other black people that Trump was trustworthy. And Trump mocked him publicly, repeatedly. Let me let y'all check out some of this stuff they did. Check this out.
And great everything, because almost every one of them have endorsed me. Two great senators, which is hard. I mean, did you ever think that she actually appointed you, Tim? And think of it, appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No.
So he basically talking about because Tim Scott wasn't running for president. So that's basically what he's saying is that, she appointed him. And then, while he was on the ticket trying to run, she told, she decided to, push for Trump. So let me let him finish.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician. That's why he's a great politician.
Wow. It's crazy, man. So, and Tim Scott still endorsed him after that. But now here's the part that makes me the most heated, twin. Tim Scott started his political career in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. His first congressional office was right there on North Oak Street. He has promoted Myrtle Beach tourism in the United States Senate. And every single Memorial Day weekend, Black Bike Week. 400,000 black bikers. Third largest motorcycle rally in the country. Federal courts found the city's treatment of those bikers was racially motivated and unconstitutional. NAACP sued multiple times. Settlements paid. Black bikers described Myrtle Beach during Black Bike Week as like a city under martial law. And Tim Scott, whose first office was on North Oak Street in that same city, has never said a single word about it. But he has stood on national television and said, let me let y'all hear what he said. Let me see.
Experience the pain of discrimination. I know.
Nah, we want to go back. We want you to hear the whole thing. Now let me play this one, y'all. Let me play this one. Yeah, here it is. My bad.
America is not a racist country. I have experienced the pain of discrimination. I know what it feels like to be pulled over for no reason, to be followed around the store while I'm shopping.
America is not a racist country. Immediately followed by him describing being pulled over 7 times for driving while black. That man testified against himself on national TV. Described being pulled over 5 times for driving while black as a United States senator. And then said, America is not a racist country. Same speech in order, unedited. Either Tim Scott is the most blind man in America politics, or he knows exactly what he's doing. And I'll let you decide which one is worse. And now, the one that is the most personal for me, because this isn't about somebody on TV. This is about people I've met in person, look in the eye right here in Georgia. Black men and women who are still defending Donald Trump. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about everybody who voted for Trump. Some people voted because they were generally struggling, and he said he will fix it. That's hope, and hope is human. I understand that, but I'm talking about the ones who are still there after the evidence, after the policies, after watching this administration work against black communities in real time, still defending, still explaining, still performing. Dave Chappelle created a character in 2003 called Clayton Bigsby, a blind black man who didn't know he was black and became the most passionate white supremacist you ever saw in your life. Everybody laughed. It was brilliant comedy. But hey, I'm watching some of these black MAGA folks right now, and I'm thinking, Dave didn't write a sketch. He wrote a documentary. He just released it 20 years early. And here's what Trump himself said on video at his own golf club in front of his own supporters. Smart people don't like me. Let's put that up, right? His own supporters laughed while he told them to their face they weren't the smart ones. Check this out, man.
It's a good thing to have a lot of losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better. I hate guys that are very, very successful and you have to listen to their success stories. I like people that like to listen to my success. Smart people don't like me, you know, and they don't like what we talk about. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Now, I'm not calling anybody stupid. Trump already did with a smile on his face to a room full of people who paid to be there. What I will say is this, and I say it with genuine concern, not contempt. You deserve better than what either party has given you. And settling for someone who openly works against your interests because the alternative disappointed you, that's not a win. That's just a different kind of loss. And I'm just here to make sure we don't forget. But here's what Tucker, Schulz, Scott, and Black MAGA all have in common, twin. They all got something personal out of their association with this movement. Tucker got ratings and a bigger platform. Schulz got controversy, which equals money. Tim Scott kept his Senate seat. And some Black MAGA supporters got the feeling of belonging to something that felt powerful. Meanwhile, the people at the bottom of all of this, the working class families, the communities without generational wealth, the people who don't have a platform or a Senate seat to fall back on, they are absorbing the actual consequences. That's how it always works, twin. The influencers and the politicians get the benefits. The regular people get the bill. And I'm tired of watching it happen without somebody saying it out loud. So I'm saying it out loud with their names attached. So drop it in the comments, twin. Who on this list surprised you the most? And if you know a Black Trump supporter who wants to have the real conversation, drop it below. No judgment, no clowning. I meant what I said. I understand how people get there, but I need the real conversation, not the performance. And who else needs to be on this smoke list? Because episode 3 is already built. And I got more names. Drop it below. I read every comment. There's episode 2 to smoke. Tucker, Schulz, Tim Scott, and the people I've met face to face who are still defending something that isn't defending them back. And I'm not here to be the loudest. I'm here to perform outrage. I'm just here to make sure we don't forget, because they are counting on us forgetting. That's what this channel is, a memory. Subscribe, hit the bell. Episode 3 is coming. I'm with Aunt from the A, and I'll see you in the next one.